It's coming from the haunting depths of your most frightening nightmares. Drive-In Asylum, a print-only fanzine dedicated to fantastic films. The new issue is brimming with frightening features. David Zooey Hall, the terrifying villain from Poor Albert and Little Annie, also known as I Dismember Mama. And this man, director Gary Sherman, hear what he has to say about making film after ghastly film. And Paul Talbot, author of Bronson's Lose, is cornered. Plus reviews of fantastic films. The ones that haunt you, possess you, they come to life again in the pages of Drive-In Asylum. Filled with vintage newsprint ads, lauded artifacts from a bygone era, preserved for your amusement. You're fascinated, aren't you? Go to the Groovy Doom Etsy shop, or if you happen to be in New York, stop by Forbidden Planet to purchase Drive-In Asylum, your fantastic film connection. And most importantly, to avoid fainting, keep repeating, it's only a fanzine, only a fanzine, only a fanzine, only a fanzine.
By being bitten in the throat by a vampire who drained their blood. In any case, everyone left the village. It might explain.
I begin to doubt whether I'll ever solve this mystery. Somehow, it just doesn't add up. So many corpses, and every death a mystery. What is the connection between these deaths? Then, just to complicate everything, we open the tomb of that strange girl today, empty.
Welcome back to the Drive-In Asylum double feature.
Who picked these movies for next week?
Oh, who could have done such a thing? Oh, what monster could have done that?
Who would have picked the Joe D'Amato movie for next week? Who is this person?
It's just this show. And the storm.
And the storm. Welcome back to the Kingdom of the Spiders. I had a blast watching this again. I love this movie. It's ridiculous. in the best of ways. I say that in a nice way. And uh, the end is a downer. It's Night of the Living Dead in a house with spiders.
Oh, Tracy, I'm so glad you said that about Altavis Davis shooting that spider that was on her hand. I was like, wouldn't it be more impulsive to just go, "Bleh"? I know that's what I would have done.
Those spiders fucked that town up. That's all you can. I mean, every single
Yeah.
nobody was smart in that town, and they're just like, you know what? This is the town for us that we've been looking at other towns. This is the town.
In her defense, she had just found out that her husband was dead, probably because of spiders. And all of a
Yeah.
sudden, she was surrounded with them. So,
Yeah.
maybe it was just sort of like her gonzo kamikaze moment where she's like, I'm just going to shoot my own hand off.
Yeah. I've had it up to here.
Yeah.
These fucking spiders on this fucking town. uh, the fact that I like the most about this movie is they didn't have the spiders cost a lot. Would you say they were $10 each? You said, Bill?
Yeah. It was $10 for every spider, and they had 5,000 spiders. So you do the math.
They didn't have enough spiders, so they would paint spiders on some of the buildings, and they promised the town that they would clean it up afterwards. They just used like really cheap touch-up paint. So for years in the town, you could see like outlines of spiders and some that they forgot, because they painted thousands of them. They just forgot. It'd be awesome if you lived in that town to just find and paint find all the spiders in that town.
I think that's a badge of honor to have fake spiders painted on your buildings.
I would have left them up.
Kingdom of the Spiders, yeah.
It's like a tourist thing.
I've been like, don't paint over that shit. Are you crazy?
Yeah. Like we're going to have a spider festival every year. We'll reenact the water tower getting knocked onto a cop. It's going to be great.
Kingdom of the Spiders social.
Well, there was almost a sequel to this, and I reached out to our friend Austin Chernick from the Canon Film Guide because Canon has been associated with it. And Menahem Golan's, here's what he said: Menahem Golan's involvement was very limited. William Shatner brought the idea for a sequel to him in late '89, and 21st Century, which was Menahem's company post Canon, included it in their sales at American Film Market and Cannes. There's an ad for it. Golan assigned the writing team behind The Forbidden Dance to turn Shatner's idea into a script, which is the best sentence ever. Shatner was going to direct it himself, but then Arachnophobia came out. He decided there was too much overlap and dropped out of the project. And by the fall of 1990, it was dead. There were ideas that it would also be in 3D, and that almost like what Sleeping Corpses Lie, a low pulse had made the spiders crazy, and they were trying to take over the world. Shatner would also star in this. Would he be Rack again? Did Rack survive the other movie? Rack survived a spider on his face, as we saw, and they just left him on a table overnight. They just let him sleep off the spiders.
They permanently cure his arachnophobia.
Oh, yes. I love that they just, you called it out. They're like, they didn't know if he was dead or not, so they just left him on a table.
He was lying on the butcher block
Yeah.
kitchen table. Like, was she expected to cook there the following day after he slept on it all night?
She was still trying to cook while she knew spiders were everywhere, and she's like, I got to keep cooking, honey. And spiders were everywhere.
I mean, you could have at least carried him over to the couch. There was a couch there. They could have laid him on.
They were so dumb. They're like, it's so hot in here. Yeah, you have a fire going. They had my dad would have been incensed. They had a fire and an air conditioner. And he was like, just make up your minds. Do you want to live or do you want to become?
Well, that was a life or death situation.
Yeah. You want to?
I don't know why she stood right under the grate when he was up there fucking with the grate, and you're like, oh, spiders are gonna fall out of it. Well, apparently she didn't read that page of the script.
No, I hate these spiders. I hate them in this town. Just take me out of here. And no one's like, we should leave. This is why your town needs more than just something to roll and call on the phone. These ancient phones. You need an operator. If the operator dies, the whole town's screwed. Tiffany,
so I think last time I asked you how you felt about spiders, and you're okay with them.
I'm totally chill with them. I love them,
but I can't pick them up.
Oh, I can't. I
can't go that far.
Yeah, I love it. I have one on me right now.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. But what
Well,
if?
you better put it on the show if there's a spider on
Yeah,
you.
like spider. No, I was trying to
Show
find
us
one
this.
today. I'm trying to find a spider so I could have one for the show and keep him as a
Show us
pet.
this fearlessness, Sam Panico.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to do it in front of you sometime. And by it, I mean pick up a spider.
What are you gonna do in front of me
Yeah,
sometime?
exactly. Pick up a spider. Nothing exciting.
I didn't think we were ever gonna go there, Sam.
The spiders. We talked about this movie was a lot like Alien, where the spiders were smart enough to shut the power off, and we just needed someone to yell like, "They're bugs! How can they shut the power off?"
Why would they go in there? There was no living thing in there that they could have sensed.
They're just like party animals. They're just like sparking shit out, and they're just like, "Yeah, what's in here?
What's
Oh,
this?
let's all bite this rat."
Why did that light bulb explode too when he turned the lights back on? Which I don't know. It took him forever to screw that fuse in. The lights kept going. Woo, woo, woo.
Jen Upton
Lots of tension.
sent me a message this morning about this movie, and she said she is sure that a spider is driving that crop duster in one scene. It looks like a spider is on the control stick and flying the plane.
I don't know why he started freaking. If anyone should know, it should be him. That no matter what, you don't let go of that thingy that you're driving the plane with.
This movie is screaming for a novelization so that we can learn some of the things that were in people's heads. Do you know what I mean? So we get some of the motivation.
I want to know all about Altavis Davis's kamikaze plan against the spiders.
I'm going to shoot every single limb that I have to get these spiders.
Was she thinking?
Yeah. What good does a gun do against spiders?
There were so many. I mean, she better have a lot of ammo. That's all I'm going to say.
Wasn't Shatner's
It'd be better to leave the house and burn it down. Isn't
Shatner's character a veterinarian? Like, doesn't he know what kills spiders? Like, wouldn't this? It seems like.
What does kill spiders? I mean,
a foot.
Spray.
Driving a car over them, yeah.
A dictionary.
Yeah. They just dropped, they're like, let's find the biggest book in town and drop it on these spiders.
Newspaper.
They found an entire Encyclopedia Britannica in that bar. And then they that's how it ends.
Hairspray.
Hairspray
works.
Hairspray flamethrower.
Especially Rave number 4.
Ooh. Mambo number 5 also works. A little bit of Mardi Gras in my life. Vince says he owns the Kingdom novel. You have to give us some insight if you've read it. Does it tell you more of the story, or is it?
Actually, I have it too.
Oh, do you? Whoa. Have you read it?
No, I don't. I obviously, or I would have probably known about Altavis Davis's kamikaze plan against the spiders, and about what's his name's, what was going through his mind when he went into that shed and was running his hand in the underside of a tire. That cannot be the first time a spider popped out on his arm if he was doing that.
A lot of people, what do you call it? A lot of people in this movie, it's their first time they saw a spider. And the first time they saw radio.
Oh yeah, it was like a fucking Ouija board experiment.
Yeah,
they needed both of them to get it on there. That's not how a radio works.
Damon said, "Thank you for using his song for the intro."
Yeah, right on. Gutter Trash Charm, streaming on all major platforms. Damon Brazel, lots of really awesome, like surf psychobilly, Cramps style stuff going on in Damon's music. I really dig it.
Damon, what did you see at the drive-in? That's what I'd like to know.
Yeah, I forget. He told me I should. It's Jaws and something else.
Man,
I forget what the second feature was. Damon, enlighten us.
Say hi to Philip Bond, who is in chat from Making Tarantino.
Hello.
I'm on the show this week talking about Gambit from 1966, Michael Caine's first U.S. movie. Pretty fun.
An interesting choice.
Yeah. I always say use the randomizer for me, because that way it'll be something I've never seen and I can learn about it. So it was pretty fun. Always fun doing the show. Yeah, there were the spiders in this movie this has a lot of Jaws to it. It has that there's that festival. My favorite thing about that festival is all those people trying to get in the cop car, and then one person just has a spider on their ass. Like, did someone attach it to their, like,
They would have had to have.
Yeah.
The tarantulas didn't want anything to do with any of those people. They're shy and they don't want to be looked at by human beings.
No. And then a lot of them, Shatner said he was upset that so many of them got killed, stepped on and run
Yeah.
over by cars.
I think that's really wrong. One of the ads that I had, I don't know if I probably put it up and didn't even comment on this, but you could go to the theater and they gave you a live pet tarantula, which is a really bad idea. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
don't do that kind of shit.
But that seems like the plot for Kingdom of the Spiders too, where they're showing the first one and then they give away tarantulas and one of them has babies and they go nuts.
You
in the
just
theater.
wrote it. It's now your intellectual property.
It is. Bill and I talked though. We really think we're just going to take this movie and CGI and stink bugs, and just make stink bug from this movie.
It was Jurassic Park and Jaws.
Ah,
Fight Night.
that's a good double feature.
I know, isn't it? I mean, I guess I saw both of those movies on the big screen. Maybe not at the drive-in.
I saw Jurassic Park in the theater. I think I saw the most recent. I saw one of the newer Jurassic Parks at the drive-in. I saw it with Fury Road, which was awesome to see at the drive-in.
I didn't expect Jurassic Park to be so scary. Like there was that scene with the T-Rex attacking the kids in the Jeep, and like every child that had been, I went to see a matinee and the theater was full of screaming children. It was probably one of the best experiences at the movies I can ever remember. And it was a lot of fun. Like I didn't expect to like it that much because it was, a big budget movie. It's Spielberg. I've always had sort of like something I really dislike about Steven Spielberg's movies.
I like Jaws and I like
not that they're terrible, but there's just like a quality about them that really kind of irks me.
Yeah.
The glow. I don't like the Spielberg glow.
I don't like Hook. I don't like I pretty much after E.T. or probably that's probably where I end with him, but
Close Encounters is great.
Yeah,
I like Close Encounters a lot.
Yeah. Poltergeist is good, but that's debatable how much is him and how much is Toby. I like to think that it's Toby, so that's where I
It's Tobe Hooper. Everybody that worked on the set said that, and I think that was just media spin.
Yeah, I don't like that. It upsets me. I'm very protective of Toby versus other directors. If it was Wes Craven, I'd be like, it was totally Spielberg, but it's Tobe Hooper, so I'm like,
You hate Wes Craven.
Well, yeah, I do.
What do you got against Wes Craven?
I don't have anything against him. I like Nightmare on Elm Street a lot. It's very.
Show me on the doll where Wes Craven hurt you.
I'll show you. Yeah. Hope everybody enjoyed this. We forgot to ask if it was anybody's first time watching this. Let us know in the chat if it was your first time being spidered. Hopefully not.
I just assume everybody's seen Kingdom of the Spiders, but wouldn't that be awesome if somebody watched it for the first time tonight?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah. Wow. Daryl said you can rent a cabin where this was shot. That cabin is probably a lot more than $11 and you don't get food with it.
$11 and she fed you.
But
how could she afford to keep that place running?
How about Tiffany Boeing just dropping her clothes on the floor? Like,
ew, yeah.
That place had to be like, I'm sure like minors and stuff. Like it wasn't like a clean place. You know what I mean? Like it just seemed like
Yeah.
But
I only saw her there. I did not see a cleaning staff, so that place was at least musty.
Yeah.
There was a musty smell. Probably you don't want to put stuff on the floor, but she just dropped, and she was wearing nice clothes.
Super nice clothes, like fancy underwear, and like she was like and she seemed like way too fancy to be.
Her undies were fancy. You were right.
Yeah.
She showed some side boob in this movie
she did.
too. I was surprised.
She said that Shatner repeatedly hit on her throughout the movie, despite his wife being in the movie with them.
Yeah.
He said, "My wife and I have been noticing you at the bar." He pulled one of those moves. He didn't. I'm making that last part. He did hit on her, though, according to her. Allegedly hit on her. You'd be canceled today for such behaviors.
I'd love to stay at the place where this was filmed.
Yeah, I know. I love the way that like lacquered wood looked in that room.
Ooh, I hated that
Oh, I
part.
love
It
that.
was,
Yeah,
it's
I
just
love. Oh,
shiny.
I love that. Yeah,
That's really tacky.
I like tacky though. So you know, in my hometown, there's an Italian restaurant that's inside a log cabin, which I find so disconcerting, but their food's really good. And like the whole time we eat there, my brother's like, "I don't like this log cabin shit, but the food's good." I'm like, "Okay." So you eat gnocchi in a log cabin. How weird.
It sounds like the Franklin Inn in Franklin Park.
Yeah,
Did you ever eat there?
I've heard of it, but I've never eaten there.
They filmed part of that movie there, Dogma.
Oh yeah.
There
Wow.
was a scene in Dogma that was shot there, but it's just like this, I don't know. It looks like the kind of place where you would walk in and order a steak,
Mm.
and it would have that have bar food in there, but it's actually a really good Mexican restaurant. The
Never
food
been.
there is outstanding,
We're,
but it doesn't look like a Mexican restaurant.
we're taking my mom to the Hotel Kaufman tomorrow in Zillionople, which is haunted. That's not why we're taking her. But it's a very nice restaurant. But yeah, that's what we're doing. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there in the chat. Or if you have a mom,
Yeah.
yeah, tomorrow's Mother's Day. So please enjoy.
Are you going to watch Mommy Dearest?
I'm going to watch Mummy Dearest and the original Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. And my brother now reenact some of the fights between the brothers. Oh, where
How about Ma?
Ma? Yeah, maybe I'll watch Ma. Maybe I'll watch Sleepwalkers because that's kind of like a mom and her son kind of movie. It's incestual too, so maybe that'll be the other one we watch.
Friday the 13th?
Ooh, that's a great Mother's Day movie. That's a strong
I think
mother
so.
or son.
Absolutely.
Those kids.
You can even watch part 2.
Oh yeah, those kids really were jerks. I'm on her side. You know,
Mrs. Voorhees wasn't wrong.
Mm.
It was just this place.
The older you get, the more right Mrs. Voorhees is. Like
yeah,
if you go out,
she was fucking pissed.
Yeah, you kids were fucking, and my mentally challenged son was trying to swim. Don't let him swim. He was not the. He was supposed to be watched. You know.
And she's busted her ass to feed all these kids.
Yeah, she's trying to do her job, and these kids were supposed to watch him. They're all out farting around, doing drugs, God knows what else. I'm on her side. Anytime I go out to eat and there's kids being jerks, like
I know Mrs. Voorhees stole Marcy's weed.
Oh yeah.
After she killed Jack.
Yeah.
in the cabin, I'm sure she took that weed for herself.
Yeah. I would like to think that she did. I'm a fan of her. Not really anybody else. Steve kind of, because he has the shortest shorts ever. Like that's the great. If you go see that in the theater now, you just hear people just lose their minds laughing when he shows up. David mentioned Rosemary's Baby is a good choice too for Mother's Day. Or
Absolutely.
Whatever Happened to Rosemary's Baby. You could watch that too.
Oh, look what's happened to Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah. A mom gets put on a bus and just drives away. A terrifying moment.
Oh, I know. That still haunts me to this day.
Yeah.
Poor Patty Duke.
Oh.
She got treated so horribly in TV movies.
Yeah.
She turned into a giant spider. All the bad shit happened to her on TV. Joan Collins got it theatrically.
She got menaced by a lamp from Amityville. Right?
Did she?
Yeah, like that in the Amityville TV movie, The Evil Escapes. Her family buys a lamp at a yard sale that used to be
Patty Duke?
Yeah. Yeah. Jane Wyatt's in it too. Yeah. Amityville, The Evil Escapes. I'm looking it up right now to make sure that this isn't my brain telling me. Yeah, Patty Duke plays Nancy Evans. Jane Wyatt is her mother-in-law. Yeah. Well, Patty Duke.
Far out.
Yeah.
You're much more well-versed in the Amityville pantheon.
Well, I have a curse. The demon cursed me that I must watch every new Amityville movie. The best one I've seen lately is a movie called Amityville Gas Chamber, where it's just a dude reading the book and farting. And he's like, yeah, this is much better than the other Amityville movies. He'll just like make a couple comments every once in a while. So
how long is this movie?
it's an hour and a half.
An hour and a half of that?
Yeah. It's like a Warhol kind of art piece, you know?
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not supposed to watch the whole thing. You just leave it on and
Yeah.
people walk in and out of it.
Yeah, exactly. But I guess it's a meta commentary on how bad that anything can be in an Amityville movie. So, who's to say? Amityville shows up in Late Night with the Devil for a couple seconds. Uh, the psychic guy mentions that he went there and that he couldn't get the Warrens to come with him, which I thought was pretty cool.
I love that he wanted to expose the Warrens. The skeptic wanted to expose the Warrens
Yeah,
as fakes.
yeah,
I hate the Warrens.
I do
God,
too. I hate him so much. Like the scummiest people. And in the movies, they're like saints.
truly.
Yeah,
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 of course.
yeah.
We get the whitewashed version of it.
Not the
Hey,
good.
I have something fabulous to
Ooh,
show you.
I'm excited to see it.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh man!
Tiffany Bowling's album that she recorded in 1973 called simply Tiffany.
Wow,
Yeah.
I love it.
Personally, I am all about that star shirt.
I
I
love
hope
that
she
shirt.
still has that.
Yeah, he's very stylish.
And I don't know, there's something odd about this picture. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah,
She's
she's
not like other girls.
no. It's a little
Oh,
masculine,
yeah.
maybe, but a little.
Yeah, she's wearing no bra
Oh, all right.
and her shirt's wide open as if daring the world to get a look at her.
Yeah,
I like this cover. I think this is
I've
great.
never heard her sing, so I'm gonna have to look this up.
I know. I was shocked when I
Yeah,
discovered this.
I love it. Oh,
Here's something from 1985. Look at this. This was from Australia, I believe. This was Australia, so who knows what was actually left in these movies, like Dawn of the Dead and The Funhouse and Humanoids from the Deep. But
paramedics
you
in
got
attendance too.
yeah, Percepto shock effects. Wonder what that was.
Send more paramedics. Oh yeah, Mike mentioned she does sing in Wicked Wicked. You're totally right that she sings in that. Tiffany Bowling.
Yeah, that's why she recorded an album.
Mm.
To sort of maybe launch her as a multifaceted performer.
She did it. Man, I'd love to go to this Frightorama 85.
Yeah, it was really getting kind of late to see movies like this, but that's great.
Yeah.
And what's the other one that I had? Oh yeah, look, this HBO lineup
Ooh.
from back in the day. This was 1978, and this was like sort of the prime time for HBO for me. This is when I
Yeah.
discovered HBO because all these movies were things that I watched on there
Oh,
over and over
yes.
again. Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane,
Mm-hmm. Orca, definitely.
Orca, yes. Oh my God, Airport 77,
Oh, what a joy that movie is.
and of course Kingdom of the Spiders. The car is missing from this, so it must have been either before or after this month, which was May of 1978, I believe.
$5 with your cable subscription for a special hookup. I would get it.
I'd get that hookup.
Yeah. Man.
I sure would.
I love that. What a night. Hey, I got a lot of stuff the last month since we've been on. You want to see what I got?
Yeah.
Some of it's from the drive-in. Some of it's...
Show it off.
Yeah. This is a gift. Mode Mixologist brought me this. This is, he knows me so well, a VHS of Jess Franco's Satis Erotica. And it's from Ides, too.
I was just going to say, I saw that so many times at Ides.
Yeah, and it was from Ides. So that's
wow.
That's like he knows me so well. And then this is from Haunted Hollywood, Passing Clouds, aka Spellbound, and it's an old Haunted Hollywood video, which is really cool to get. So I love that.
What, Haunted Hollywood?
Yeah, that's who shipped it from Ligonier, PA. Rare, hard to find mystery fantasy films on VHS video.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is news to me.
Yeah,
here, let me get the full effect here. Zoom.
There it is. Let me move it back a little bit. There you go.
Ligonier of all places.
Home of one of the Ryan Clarks. Then also, you gave me this copy of Creepers, which holy cow, I love this. It's one of the old hard when DVD cases could stop a bullet, and has a couple different cuts of Creepers, aka Phenomena. Awesome gift. What else did I get? We got a copy of. I've never seen this. Leptirica. This is The She Butterfly, a Serbian Yugoslav horror film from
Oh, wow.
1973. Yeah.
The she butterfly.
Yeah. Don't We'll not share that with Erica. She hates moths. This is from Mark Dockham, copy of Brains of Blood. This is also an Omen box set that I got from him, and this was for Becca, a Halloween box set. Thank you. Severn came to the drive-in, and I bought, of course, the Joe D'Amato documentary, Inferno Rosso. Joe D'Amato on the Road of Access. This is also in the Black Emanuel set. Super excited to watch this. Now, here's what's coming in the mail for some labels. These are new from Arrow. They have Pandemonium, Narc, and Night Falls on Manhattan. And I'm super excited about this, Bill. UHD, A Crimson Peak. Wow.
Ooh.
That's a good modern movie. So there's that. And this is from Cult Epics, Frivolous Loa. It's a Tinto Brass movie. I just watched All Women Do It from Tinto Brass the other day, and Volcanic is a good way to describe it. Loved it. As William Shatner would say, sabotage. He has a very famous voiceover where he said sabotage and would not admit that it's sabotage. This is from MVP.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like, that's how I've always said it. Sabotage. This is one I'm really excited about. I actually bought it. This is from AGFA and Something Weird Video. It's all the intermission time videos that Something Weird put out, Bill, like all the let's go to the lobby stuff. And here's why I bought it. As you can tell, it has the monsters in your living room ad, like a 4K version of it, which is pretty exciting. So this has all the ones on there. And then finally, speaking of HBO, this is super exciting. This is from NBD. They put it out. It is Hardware Wars.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it has a making of and interviews with everybody, but it's
Basketball is a peaceful planet.
It is Hardware Wars and other films that the same team did. But I loved this when I was a kid. Augie Ben Doggy and Ham Sandwich, 4Q2, Artie Deco. I mean, Ham Salad. That's
I
a hard
thought
salad.
about that in so long.
Flute Starbucker.
Basketball is a peaceful planet.
Yeah, I mean it's cleaned up too, which is hilarious that this came out. Yeah, and there's a couple different cuts, but I love this cover because it looks like the old HBO Canon covers, like how their stuff looked. So an awesome package, and just seeing the pictures of, I love the idea that Chewbacca is basically like a Muppet in it, and it's literally one of the dumbest movies ever. But I was talking about it with my mom because I told her because we watched it all the time on HBO as a kid. You know, we didn't have a VCR, and it was one of those things like if it came on in between, everybody would yell in the house to run into the TV room to watch it. Do you know what I mean? Like it was like, wow, like Hardware Wars is on. It's like a happening, so to speak. So there were so many cool little like video jukebox would be in between stuff. Like HBO is very formative in my
absolutely. That's where I saw a lot of stuff. Do you remember Dragula?
Mm-hmm.
That was a really offensive gay stereotype one.
Yeah.
Where he like bit people on the wrist and then they would suddenly turn gay. And what else? Recorded Live, the thing with the pile of tape that would consume people like the Blob.
Yeah. There was some one with motorcycles where people were just like floating and they were like racing motorcycles. I don't know what that one was called. I remember that one, and there's the one that was like a pinball machine that had all the aliens came out, and it was like all cartoons, and they like fought Space Invaders, like all the covers of pinball machines. Yeah.
I barely remember that.
Yeah.
Remember the Silverfish King?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. HBO was wild because it felt very unplanned. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you knew movies were gonna be on, but between them, it was like anything goes. Like, there was just the weirdest stuff that would be between them.
Yeah,
And
well, because I guess they didn't have a whole lot of stuff to put on there. They didn't know what to do, so it was a chance for them to just, experiment a little.
and a lot of times too, if they did boxing, they didn't know how long it was gonna go. So, sometimes they'd have to run stuff in between and do stuff. So, yeah, I loved HBO as a kid. It felt like
Oh
you were a grown
yeah.
up getting to watch it.
Tracy Palmer reminded me of the Close Encounters parody where he's like, "This means something," over and over again.
That's what was cool about it. It was
Good
just like
times.
they had like just whatever to show, and they just showed it. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty rad. So,
Well, it's kind of like Night Flight.
yeah,
AC Nicholas wrote about that in the new Drive-In Asylum, but it was just sort of, putting this stuff up there that nobody would have ever seen that if it wasn't for Night Flight
and there's
and HBO.
a lot of stuff on Night Flight. Like Dynaman was on it, which was like a Sentai, like a Power Ranger style show, way early. And then there was that's where I discovered like Tom Waits and a lot of recording artists, like Red Hot Chili Peppers, when they were first coming out. Like a lot of bands, like my first exposure to them was via Night Flight, and it was pretty cool.
That's where I first saw Kate Bush
Mm.
and Dead or Alive.
I
I
was
saw Dead or Alive before You Spin Me Around was a big hit.
Oh wow,
The album before that, they showed a couple of like his cover of That's the Way I Like It by Casey and the Sunshine Band.
yeah.
And Kate Bush, like that weird concert that she did where she was like on a kite and like she had a costume change for every song. That was on Night Flight.
Oh
And
man,
where would we have seen that stuff? How would we have ever gotten a hold of those
I
if
think
not for them?
it's awesome because like a lot of the education of old films came from.
Oh no.
I'm here. There we go.
There we go.
It came from that, and then when HBO aired, it came from Hollywood, which is from the Medved books. But otherwise, back then, like that's how I saw a lot of clips of the Ed Wood stuff. Like I wouldn't have known about Glenn or Glenda without that. And then also the Something Weird TV show. What was the one that Sandra Bernhardt hosted?
Real Wild Cinema.
Well, like that really got me into a lot of stuff. And then one summer, the Incredibly Strange Film Show, the one that the British show that had like all the different directors on it, that was on too. So like I got to see like I that's where I was like someday I'm going to be able to find and see all these movies, but it wasn't till the internet years later where it's like you know I started buying books. Like I bought the Two Mondo Macabre books, and I spent years hunting those down. And of course, like those Ides movies I showed, bought so many movies at Ides for way too much money. You know what I mean? Like $40 for these movies. But where else was I gonna see a Jess Franco movie back then?
That was crazy, the prices that they charged for those, and they were just making copies
Oh yeah,
off of a laser disc or something.
yeah. And but if you went to conventions, it was the same way. Like it was like you were lucky if they were
Yeah.
15 to 20 bucks and you got like a fifth or sixth generation copy of a movie, and you were happy that you had it, you know? But
We were
and we
happy
were
to have our
happy. Yeah, we were
bootlegs.
happy. But, you know, how else did we get stuff back then?
Here's some stuff that well, actually, I haven't run this stuff on the page
Ooh.
yet. Al Adamson, baby.
Oh,
Dracula versus Frankenstein and Night of the Living Dead.
man.
At least you got one movie that would be what you
I like
maybe
Dracula
wanted
versus
to.
Frankenstein. There's a hilarious moment in it where Dracula's like has Forrest Ackerman like he's taking over his brains. And he's like turn here. It's like you're already commanding his brain. You don't need to tell him where to turn. Just make him turn.
Well,
Yeah. That's great art though.
all
Oh,
new, all color.
oh, I love this movie so much. I have the blue of this too.
I wondered about that.
Yeah.
I knew this is one of your favorites.
Yeah. It's
Wasn't this the one where they had sort of a scheme hoping to
Mhm.
catch the Zodiac?
Yeah, and they were trying to get him to come in. You had to sign your name to win a motorcycle, and they had handwriting analyst checking all the like underneath the stage, and as the things went into the box, he was down there grabbing the papers and seeing if it was Zodiac.
Wow.
Yeah, imagine if they caught him. If that was how they caught I shouldn't say him. Zodiac could have been a woman. Who knows? Oh, Zodiac. Oh,
This really surprised me. I've never seen this kind of ad for Willard
yeah.
before.
Wow.
Willard's not really one of my favorites.
I've
How
never
about
seen
you?
it. Never seen it.
Oh,
But I have seen House That Dripped Blood a lot of times.
like how many times?
In the hundreds, maybe.
Hundreds.
I don't know. But probably at least 30 times. Let's say I've watched it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. I've watched all the Amicus movies repeatedly, especially during COVID. They were kind of all my, mental health movies. How many times have you seen Frogs? Right?
Probably like about 30 times,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Well, I watched it a lot when I was a kid, but I mean that was really only once a year.
But it's it's
Probably.
definitely a favorite.
Yeah, this is a comfort film for me.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention my favorite 4th of July film. Forget all about Jaws. It's Frogs.
Yeah.
Even though this never happens in the movie. You never see a hand dangling out of a frog's mouth. Except unless you watch the entire credit sequence, because there's an animated moment like this in there, which I guess they had to put that in there because people were angry.
You like that there was a kids matinee of that?
Yes.
This is my favorite Amicus movie, though. It's between this and Asylum, but I'd say Tales from the Crypt's the best one. I love that movie. Dracula has risen, and also it might not be Dracula.
I know.
Dracula in quotes.
Dracula. If you want to call him, what they really mean the devil.
We always talk about PG movies that aren't PG, and man, I'll tell you, Tales from the Crypt is pretty rough too.
You think so? You really think it's
the beginning, the stuff with like the blood all over that carpet and stuff? There's some pretty rough scenes, and the heart gets torn out and put in a, Grimsdyke pulls out that guy's heart. You don't see it, but you see the raw heart afterwards.
That's true.
I love it though, so whatever. I'm good.
It just seems so cartoonish, especially the blood in Tales from the Crypt. It's like bright candy-colored blood.
I love it so much. The blood should always be Italian blood like that, the brightest possible.
Yeah.
I love it.
To hell with the realism.
Fuck realism, right?
Who cares?
Who cares, man? The kids want realism. Fuck the kids. I just watched The Headless Eyes, Bill, and it really feels like a movie made for this show.
I can't remember if I ever saw it.
It's a bucket of blood kind of thing. An artist that finds out he's sneaking into this girl's place to steal her money, and she pulls a spoon out from the nightstand and pucks his eye out, and then he learns that if he kills people and he uses their he can like paints the scenes of it. It's pretty wild. It's a great double feature with the ghastly ones.
I know. Grotesque beings on a gruesome rampage.
Right?
Wow. That's a lot. That's promising a lot. And I don't think any of those movies is going to deliver it.
My poor wife gets hit with me talking about Andy Milligan a lot. And I said to her the other day, I said, the joy of Andy Milligan is that no matter what his movie's about, essentially they're just about people that hate each other. Like it could be about vampires and werewolves. Like, I wonder what it's like for a vampire to be married with a werewolf. They hate each other. They hate everything about each other.
Constant drama.
Yeah. And I love it. I'm here for it. I've never seen. What is The Touch of Melissa, Bill?
I'm glad you asked that.
Yeah.
The Touch of Melissa is that movie called The Touch of Satan.
Ah.
Where the lady is like 100 or so years old. And she, it's kind of Pearl-esque.
Are they trying to make me think that this is sexier than it is?
I guess. Yeah. See, this ad campaign makes it seem like it's about a woman.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, but you know,
Yeah. To love
there's
her.
also a satanic element to it.
I mean, just reading "To Love Her Is to Be Cursed," I'm like, tell me more about her.
The original title of the movie was Pitchfork,
Ooh,
so that sounds more exciting.
super exciting.
But then years later, it was retitled Night of the Demon.
Oh, okay. We've seen that run before. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's not the Bigfoot movie, Night of the
Mm.
Demon. That is impossible to find playing theatrically anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't really think it did.
I don't think it did either.
But this movie did play as Night of the Demon, and it was with blood eaters,
Mm-hmm.
and also It Came from the Grave. I think that was NPM that put those out, but I don't know. I'm not really sure. I need somebody who is an expert on that to explain that whole thing to me.
Well, I like this ad, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's far out,
I'm gonna
isn't
hunt
it?
the movie down not just because of this ad. It
Oh,
40
have you
years.
not seen it?
No, I haven't seen it. 40 years
Oh,
later,
you're
it
gonna
seems
love
like,
it.
yeah, a movie about an ancient witch and satanic stuff. I think I like it.
Oh yeah, you're gonna say, "Where has this movie been all my life?"
Oh,
Trust me.
the touch of Melissa. Oh, oh, Bill,
The
you know
touch of
me so
Satan
well.
softens hands while you do the dishes.
I love this ad so much.
Tracy.
This ad is amazing because it has nothing to do with the movie
It
outside of
kind of does.
one scene that lasts for like 30 seconds. But you know what? Who cares? I love this
How
so
else are they
much.
gonna sell this movie?
They're gonna tell you you'll have no idea what's happening. Not recommended for
Woman,
people with schizophrenic tendencies. Schizophrenic
woman
tendencies.
having nervous breakdown.
Oh, I love this so much. Like this is one of my favorite posters. It's just so good.
Well, you know I love it.
Ah,
And
I remember
anything with
just you
cat.
looked at me during that scene. You're like, I love this movie. I'm like, yeah, it's so good. Why are those dogs in it? Who knows, right? Fulci's just like, fuck it. Like, let's just freak people out. I'm for that in movies. Oh,
I think those are some of my favorite horror movie ad bats
yeah,
also.
I love a bat.
They're pretty scary looking.
That's something I forgot to bring up to our guests is that they want to buy the bats from old Italian movies. They're trying to find them. Like, where does that is that bat still around?
The actual bat.
The actual bat. I like I said they probably have disintegrated by now. But they're like, a lot of the people like they're like, I think they reused the same bats in this movie. Anytime a fake bat shows up in a movie, they're really excited about it. They always like call out the fake bat and then dummy drops are the two big things on the show.
Remember the something happened here and it made me lose my train of thought. We haven't talked about the Monsterama a lot. I didn't want to on the first segment because of the guests. They weren't there.
I'm going to be bold and say this was my favorite Monsterama ever.
Yeah.
I think that this was like it was the most like chilled out one, and it was just so fun to sit and talk with everybody. It was great that Mike came in, had a blast getting to meet him. It was just like talking to him online. It was perfect, and just great seeing everybody, great drinking with everybody, some great trading of stuff, and all the movies were great. And the second night was the best weather I think we've ever had. The weather was so perfect. It was beautiful, and no rain or anything, and it was just a great time, and just very communal and very relaxing. That's why I had the best time.
The movies were fantastic too. This was
Yeah.
just one of my favorite lineups ever. I knew that when they finally did the children, it was going to be a special night. I did not know that I was going to get to see Messiah of Evil on the big screen for the first time at the Monsterama, which is just it really blew my mind. That I had a feeling that it was going to be like that. For years, I watched Alien. I was a huge fan of the movie Alien, and I bought the VHS back when it was really expensive, when I was a kid. And I watched it over and over again, maybe like, 30, 40, 50 times. But I didn't know what that movie was until I saw it in a theater.
Mm-hmm.
And it just really was like seeing it for the first time. Halloween, same thing. I didn't understand what a lot of those camera movements meant. Just watching it on a TV set, you can't get that same experience. Same goes for Messiah of Evil. Don't miss it if you ever have the chance.
This sounds like hyperbole, but I don't care. It really felt like the first time I saw it all over again. Like it felt like I saw things in it and felt things in it that I hadn't in previous watches, and it really makes me appreciate what a miracle that movie is for how difficult the editing was to put together and the budget issues. Like it just magically works. Um,
Yeah.
so much of it does, and the end is horrifying on the big screen. Like it's great. Like it literally went up on my list of favorite movies. Like it already was a favorite, right? Look at my daughter in the background, by the way. I don't know
I
if anyone can
see.
see this.
I
Going on.
thought it was something in your hair.
No, it's Loa going crazy cleaning.
It's a spider.
Yeah, it's getting a spider off herself. And Becca actually stayed awake for all of the second Death Dream, and she loved it. She said to me, she's like, "Do we have that?" I said, "Yeah, we have it." She's like, "I really like that," and I said, "Yeah, it's really good." Um, there wasn't a stinker in the bunch. You know, I know sometimes they're all really great. They pick really great movies, but I think the movie that surprised everybody was how much everybody loved Star Crash. That was so much fun to watch
Oh
with
my
everybody,
god.
and it looked beautiful on the screen like that.
I've never seen a movie like Star Crash. I think the only thing that matches it, other than Star Wars,
Yeah,
okay, maybe that's why they made it. But that Star Crash is more like Flash Gordon,
yeah.
which I love so much more than Star Wars. So
And that's kind of what Cozy knew the old movie serials, and that's what he was shooting for. And
yeah,
it is beautiful, though. The colors are beautiful. The effects are obviously nowhere near what Star Wars are, but in their own way, they're awesome. Where they're just
yeah,
they're very like stop motiony and feel old, but also great. Marjorie Gortner's great in it. Like Carol Monroe's gorgeous. Like it's crazy because it's like the thing I like the most about it is like it never stops once it starts. It's like we're going to the Amazon planet. Oh, we're going to a frozen planet. Oh, here's a sheriff that's a robot. Here's a you know what I mean? Like here's a green dude that's going to turn on us. Like it's like there's so much that happens, and like it's like dizzying how much happens. Like Flash Gordon's the same way. We're jumping from
well,
planet to planet.
it also has more in common with Barbarella.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a great call. And it just looks awesome. Like there's like the stars are all different colors. The ships are wild. You have bullets that get fired into stuff. Yeah, Chris said, "Here's Joe Spinell out of nowhere."
There were so many planets
Oh,
in that one shot. It was like all this stuff
yeah,
crammed in, and there were like all these moons and everything. I'm like, wow, that is
yeah,
one crowded
yeah,
galaxy.
yeah. It was wild because especially there's one scene where Joe Spinell's just laughing like a maniac, and it goes on for
Like a maniac.
yeah, like for oh yeah, exactly for a long time, and it was like wow, it's really cool. Like it's just a fun movie. It's like it's such a feel good movie, and I saw I just imagined seeing it at the drive-in when I was a really young kid, and it totally like it's all I thought about for it supplanted Star Wars for me as a kid because it was so wild, and I was like, this is awesome. Like, why aren't more people loving this movie? So that's what I get upset sometimes when I know it is a ripoff. I know it was made because of Star Wars, but I feel like it has its own energy. I was so glad everybody liked it. I think Mike said he's like I wasn't expecting to like it more than Escape from New York. He's like this is really really good. And I was like cool. Like that made me feel good. So yeah, it was a great experience seeing everybody, and thanks to everybody that came up and talked to us and hung out with us and drank with us and traded movies. It was
Yeah,
just
we
a
got to
really
meet a
good.
lot of people.
Yeah,
Ator Moonbeam,
yeah,
we met,
yeah. I know that
which
was
was amazing.
yeah. I met him in the snack bar at like 2 in the morning. I was like getting a drink, and he like said, "Are you Sam?" I said, "Yes, I am." So it was pretty rad.
Yeah, lots of great people showed up. Oh, I apologize if I didn't say. I think Sam said it, but I want to thank our sponsors
Oh
for
yeah,
this show: Matthew Corona, Sean Midas, and Tim Hemphill.
thanks so much, guys.
We really appreciate your support. You help us pay those streaming fees, and that helps. So we
Yeah,
appreciate it.
thank you so much. I'm
And
excited for next week. We got some good shit coming next
why?
week Yeah, we got good stuff, and I know what's coming the week after, and the week after is even crazier. So I'm really excited. A natural double feature for 2 weeks. That's
Yes.
a tease for what's coming up. But next week, two great Euro horrors. But yeah, anybody that can try to make it to the Drive-In Monsterama, whether in September or April, I know it's easy for us because it's an hour away. But for people that make it a way to get out there, it's been really good time. Every year it's great.
Can you still see the aurora?
Supposedly tonight you can. Yeah, I can't see it from Monongahela.
Oh wow! I thought I missed my chance.
Yeah,
I should be trying.
yeah, yeah. I miss doing the show too, so it's nice to see everybody. Thanks to everybody that
Yeah.
came back and watched. It was a little bit of withdrawal. It was good to get a break because a lot of stuff going on, obviously, but nice to be back and doing the show. And we have some cool stuff lined up. Great to have new guests on, and really appreciate Lance and Erica being on. Don't forget about her book, which is almost all sold out already. It's here. I'll hold it up and show you some of the pages. It's really well designed. Like it's got some really cool looking pages.
Oh, there's you opened right up to Alien 2.
Yeah, exactly. But it's got. I really love the design sense of it, and got like it's really broken out into cool lists and stuff that the covers for. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a child death in Alien 2.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. That little girl on the beach with her face missing.
Don't you love that that movie also has bowling in it?
That's terrifying to
Oh,
me.
yeah. It's like, what?
If
What
it
is
could happen in a bowling alley, it could happen anywhere.
It can happen anywhere. Something else I was going to tell everybody, and gosh, I can't remember what it is.
Well, the
Oh,
pressure's on.
oh yeah. This week on the site, I'm barely caught up. But a lot of just random movies this week. The Island, though, Bill, is the one I'm most excited about. I finally watched it. And-
Oh my god.
yeah.
It's fucking amazing,
It
isn't it?
is. Yeah. So that's up. And then the podcast this last week, my podcast is Scarab or Scarab, as they say in the British trailer for it. A movie that has Rip Torn dressed like Serpentor from G.I. Joe. And it's never been released on DVD or Blu-ray. So, I'm really going for a lot of downloads. I'm hoping to get at least 10. That'll be up this week. And then if you listen to Philip's podcast, Making Tarantino the podcast, I spill the beans on what next week's podcast episode is by the end. But I had a blast talking. I realized from watching the Gambit that we watched, I really like caper movies from the 60s. So maybe I'll start watching some more of those. I think it's because I like Euro spy movies, but it's pretty fun. So it's there's a little bit of problematic stuff in it just because Charlotte McLean's supposed to be, they refer to her as Eurasian in it, and they kind of make her look Asian. So yeah. What can you do? We can't retroactively go back and say Hollywood, don't do that.
Please stop, Hollywood.
Please stop, Hollywood. Please stop. You make so many mistakes. It's not the worst thing you've ever seen in it, but yeah, Gambit's really fun, and Michael Caine's really great in it. I didn't realize she picked him for that movie because she saw Alfie, and she was like, he'd be really good in this, and he's like, they picked me because I was cheap. But yeah, he's good in it.
My cigar unraveled.
Oh.
I'm really annoyed.
I'm sorry, Bill. Thanks,
What am I
Roger.
to do? It's a good thing the show's almost over.
It is. And then June Exploitation's coming up pretty soon from the site after this movie. I always do their June Exploitation challenge. And
Thanks, Sol.
and also coming up at the end of summer, I'll be doing another month of CBS late night movies, and soon I will be doing another Chiller Theater month too. So trying to plan out my schedule. I have a lot of movies that I've watched this week and just haven't had time to write about them. So a lot of Tubi, obviously. A lot of Tubi original.
Of course.
Yeah. I tell you, Tubi's got some awesome, there's so much Italian stuff up lately. Like anything the Vinegar Syndrome puts out comes out there. Also, super excited. Kino Lorber is putting out Nightmare Beach on 4K, and I was literally wearing
Yeah,
the shirt that day, and I texted you right away, and I was like,
that is a landmark moment in your life.
oh, I love that movie so much. I also want to bring up, I watched a really fun movie this week, Mean Guns. I don't know if anyone's ever seen it. It's an Albert Pyun movie. MVD just put it out, and it's really good. It's kind of like The Most Dangerous Game. It's got Ice-T as the bad guy, and he is mad that his crime syndicate all screw around too much. So he invites 100 of his worst criminals to a jail that isn't built yet, and tells them that they all have to kill each other. And if 3 survive, he'll give them $10 million each. So of course everybody's trying to kill each other, and he's just walking around shooting people. He has giant silver fangs in it, and he's just Ice-T rapping the whole movie. It's so much
Wow.
fun. Yeah, Christopher Lambert's in it as a bad guy, and the girl from the brunette daughter from Too Close for Comfort, who was in the Warriors. She's the one of the few good people in the movie. It's really fun, and it has like mambo music in it. And Albert Penn had like his best budget. He got to shoot it inside a LA jail that wasn't finished being built yet. So they just let him do anything, but he wasn't allowed to do blood in it. So there's hardly any blood in it, which is weird. But it's a really fun movie. MVD just released it, and I'm gonna watch it again pretty soon because it's got some really fun. Deborah von Valkenburg, thank you, Chris. Yeah, it's a fun movie. They've been putting out really cool stuff. I really like this Sabotage that just came out. I love this packaging too. This old video store packaging that they've been doing. So I'm not just saying it because they send me really cool stuff. But, and I really like the tinted brass stuff that Called Advocates is putting. Why would I like that? Who knows?
That doesn't sound like you.
No. Why would I like Italian movies with butts in it? Why would I like that? Anyways, Bill, thanks for everything. I missed doing the show with you, so this has been super fun.
Oh, did you miss me? I missed
did.
you.
I missed you very bad. I was going to text you the other day and tell you, but then my basement flooded. So
Okay, I have to know that I'm still special to you.
you're the most special.
Thank you.
Yeah, it goes without saying. I had a blast being at the drive-in with everybody and with you. It was just such a good time. And
Yeah, I always hate that it's only 2 days.
I do. I've talked about it before. But that drive home the second night is so depressing. It's like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it's taking forever and it's so long. And my wife is asleep. But yeah, I was thinking over stuff like there's every single movie that we watched was like a different, unique experience this time, and it felt really good to watch all of them with everybody.
Well, the Sunday was easier to take because Mike Justice was still here, so I
Yeah.
got to hang out with Mike on Sunday.
Oh, see, that's awesome.
But then, he went home Monday, and that's when it finally sunk in.
I got to get up at 9 a.m. and go buy tile for the flooring for downstairs, and then as I told before, that's when I tripped a curb. So I just was sitting there bleeding. I said to my wife, like, this is why I didn't want to go anywhere today. This is why I wanted to sleep all day, because I knew this would happen. I was really grumpy. Like I went from like the high of the drive-in to like bleeding in the streets. I can be grumpy. I try not to be. I try to be effervescent, but I don't always succeed.
You're very bubbly.
What's that? Oh, bubbly. Oh yeah.
Bubbly.
Yeah.
He thinks it's pronounced bubbly.
It seems like people enjoy my rakishness. I don't know. Except for that one guy that hates the site that comes every Friday at 9 a.m. and leaves a post. Whoever
he's obsessed with you.
Yeah. There's one guy that leaves comments on my IMDb reviews and says that I just do what's he say? Clickbait. And I wonder if he's not the non-tent. If he's the non-tent man.
Oh, I never thought of that. He could be Burger Boy.
He could be Burger Boy.
Whatever
I forgot that his name was Burger Boy.
It was Burger Boy.
Non-tent is the funniest thing. I've said non-tent so many times since then. So I want to thank Burger Boy for.
Well, that is a term.
I'd never heard it before though, so it was all new to me. Burger Boy introduced me to it. He thought he was insulting me, but really he was helping me.
Yeah.
Yeah. See?
There you go.
I took it.
Thanks to everybody who came and hung out with us tonight and watched fantastic films. Next weekend, I'm really looking forward to that one because I've never seen it.
Ooh, I'm excited.
And we hope you'll come back next week too. So have a great week, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming back.
Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian.